Hi, this is Dorothy with Nat'l Scrapbooking, and look at this cute 6x8 album that I've made. Here are a couple of the pages. This is called Endless Summer, and it was from the National Scrapbooking Day bundles of 5 different things. This album is going to go to my son, who is going on a Caribbean cruise in September. And so it's going to be perfect for a short vacation that's filled with sunshine and blue sky and turquoise waters. It's going to be perfect for him. Anyway, I had a good time making this album. It was a good amount of work, but so fun to do, and loved making all these happy, sunshiny faces. So let me show you how I did this. And it's so easy. Believe me, you can do it too. So join in. Thank you. Hi, this is Dorothy with Nat'l Scrapbooking, and I am showing you the Endless Summer album, 6x8 album, that was part of the National Scrapbooking Day promotion in May. And I've done all the cutting already, and I will just warn you, this video's been speeded up 400%. So it took me 3.5 hours to put it together, not counting cutting the papers. So as I cut, I was organizing into the page protectors that come with the kit, and I labeled them according to the pages. So like little pieces like that, those are inserts that go on the page. Kind of confused me until I got into it. And the other thing that we need is circles. So 2-inch, 1.5, and 1-inch circles. And it's like 6 and 7 and 6 number. Anyway, you can count them up. I used my thin cut circles that go from 1 inch all the way up to 3 inches in half-inch increments. So instead of using, you could use your Cricut too, just saying. So all my pieces are pretty well organized. It's not perfect, but I get close. And I'm just showing you how I put all the pieces together. That was a zip strip. And then we have, I think each page has got some kind of a sun on it. So I pulled out the blocks that I needed and the tools that I needed from my instructions that I printed out, and I put them handy. So I look like I'm very organized to begin with, but by less than midway, it becomes chaos, as usual with my way of doing things. So I've got all of my little tools, I've got my blocks, and I'm using the little sponge there to make a good impression, stamp impression. We need Glacier, Sundance, Sapphire, Sage, and I pulled out Toffee, but I didn't use Toffee, and maybe it's because, oh, who knows why. So I'm masking here, and down at the bottom of this page is kind of a scallop, but they call it a fish scale because there's multi-levels of using the little 1-inch round for stamping. So I put down my sapphire stamp first, and then you go up to the sage, and then your next one is glacier. So, and you're going in between your circles, so that's why they call it fish scale. So kind of a cool idea. Now you can use something like this anytime you're making, something that has to do with water or whatever. So anyway, it's a good technique to keep in mind. Okay, so here is the sun that I'm going to make for this one, and it's got the big fat rays on it, and I think I'm using a 2-inch circle. So just making sure my stamp is well seasoned so I get a good impression. And there we go for our first set of rays. Now this is a shorter grouping, and that's so you go in between. And there's a particular way that those rays go in between, just so you know. Now, what you can do is make a bunch more of the 1-inch circles for the center of the sun, and then you can pop the center of the sun out. So I did that on a number of my suns. So it's a pretty sun, isn't it? It's kind of neat. And we're going to put, this is our little title that's going to go on here, and I'm going to put little dovetails at each end. Doesn't have to be perfect. And then I'm going to sponge the edge just for a little bit of interest. Super, super easy. And it just adds just a little something. So you want to put down your picture, and then you're going to tuck your sun underneath. Now you could put your sun down first and then put the picture over it. I'm going to pop the picture up. So I'm just going to run some of the foam tape down 3 sides, and then I can pop the sun up in between. And it actually makes a little pocket if you wanted to stick anything in there. And there we go. There's our sun popping out of the little pocket. And I'm also going to add a couple of little foam dots to this one and put it up in the corners so I can stick my picture under there. I'm actually thinking my son is going on a cruise. So his parents haven't gone on a cruise, but he's getting to go on a cruise in September down to the Caribbean, I guess. And it occurred to me that this album is going to be perfect for his pictures. So I told him he needs to take a lot of pictures. Fortunately, his best friend's wife, they're going as several, like 5 or 6 people. So they're going to have so much fun, my goodness. But this is going to be absolutely perfect for him. So I'm going to have to tell his friend's wife that she needs to take a lot of pictures of Philip so it can go in this album. Because, you know, can't trust the guys to take the pictures that you want them to take. So anyway, there's our page. Is that not cute? So those little die cuts, it's a small page of die cuts. I decided I needed one little filling in at that end there, and that looks better. So there's my sun, there's my hello, and so it's Hello Sunshine. I think it's really cute. Now, what I may do later on, not with that color though, maybe with something like the clear shimmer brush, is just make little splash marks on the pages, because I think they're going to be doing a lot of water things. Of course, they're on a cruise. They're in the water, for goodness sake, silly girl. So here is the second page of the album. So it really helps to kind of put all your pieces into the album in the page protector that they belong in. Now I'll tell you, I was confused when I was first going through. So it's really best to, when they're using the full page 6x8 or the half pages, then use those to put your pieces in so you can keep them straight. I had to reorganize. So this is a page, this is one of those little pocket things. So there's its white daisies going on the lagoon, and then we're making, this is going to be the journaling card. So I'm going to start and then just use my ruler, the other end that doesn't have the holes for making stitching. Excuse me. And I'm going up 1/4 of an inch. Now I'm thinking that's probably pretty short for pretty small writing. If you write a lot, then you want to do 1/4 of an inch. Otherwise, 3/8 of an inch is also a good spacing for the lines. Or if you have a journaling stamp that makes journaling lines, then by all means make your life easy and use that. You'll save yourself some time. So once again, I'm masking, and I'm just putting kind of a rising sun here. And I'm trying to fit which one goes there. I actually think it's the smaller one that goes there, but that's okay. Yeah, see, I think the 1 inch was supposed to go there, but that's all right. That's okay too. You know, perfection's overrated. That's my excuse. Okay, so I'm adding a little star, and I am following the instructions as best as I can. So I made, now I used, what did I use? I have a punch to make 1 inch circles. And so I used that punch to just kind of make a thumb tab so that you can tell that there's something behind there and you can grab it easily. And I'm making a pocket once again. Isn't that cute gingham paper? Just adorable. I love the color. Okay, so I tell you what, all of these stamps in the stamp set get used a lot. So Sunshine gets used a lot, and it's a really cool font. And then you've got some smaller, and it says create your own sunshine. So there's a lot of smaller little phrases that are on this stamp set. So there's my pocket, and there's my journaling card. And what you can do, I'm adding some stars to it, is you can add a picture in that pocket on another piece of paper. Kind of decided that putting the glue down might be easier and then putting the stars on top of it. They're pretty small. And I was going to say that little sheet, pardon me, of die cuts, oh, there's the thin cuts I was telling you about. So you get a bunch. It's well worth it. Well worth it. Close to my heart is going to be making a lot of adjustments coming up in the next few months. There's been, as everybody knows, there's been supply chain issues. Okay, we're making a smiley face Sunshine. Look how cute he is. Anyway, if you have a core catalog, they're going to be going to something called an essential catalog, and that's going to have some constant things, but it's not going to be anywhere near what we had before. So we're getting rid of a lot of third-party items. So anything that doesn't have close to my heart name on the product itself, we're going to be only showing sporadically in the smaller catalogs. Look at the cute little eyeballs. So anyway, if you see something now, I would say I would jump on it and get it, because it's just going to be as supplies last. So anyway, that's just a little FYI. I listened to the video yesterday or watched the video yesterday. And so there's page 1, the opening page, and that's page 2, which is the first L1 page. So the left one, layout 1. Now we're going to do right layout 1. So that's how the L and R and numbers mean. So anyway, it's going to be different, but you know, I think it'll be easier for the company, because we've had so many supply chain issues for the last couple of years that it's just you can't give people something that they can count on. So, you know, that's okay. What am I doing here? Shine Bright, and then we're putting a Sundance circle around the Shine Bright, which fits perfectly, kind of its own little sunshine in a way. And then I'm putting a 3x4 picture right next to this little decorated, kind of like a little title page. There we go. I mean, it's simple, but it's so cute. So, you know, I will say it took me a while to do this. Like I said, it was 3.5 hours to put all of this together. I don't know how long it took me to cut, probably at least an hour. Okay, I'm putting a couple of little journaling lines here. Once again, all in the instructions. I printed out my instructions because there's quite a few pages. So I printed out my instructions, 2 pages per sheet. So the words are really small. Otherwise, it would have been like 23 or 24 pages. So I just wanted to save some paper. Anyway, putting that in, and then I'm going to tuck my first part in. And you know what I really like is when they have like the bottom part, that's a 4x6 picture. Yay! That makes it so much easier. Now, I had that Sundance cut the wrong size. It was cut 3.5 by 4.5 instead of 3.25 by 4.25. So I'm just trimming it down. So there's not quite the 3.5 and 4.5 didn't fit quite right. So there we go. There's my picture with its little frame. And now we're going to make another little sun. They have so many ways. They've got thick rays, short and long, and then they've got thin rays, short and long, and then they have little triangles for the going around the sun. Okay, so that is going to be popped up on the sun's rays. So I put a little smiley face there, and then they've got these little eyes that are closed. I mean, so cute. So they've got eyes with eyelashes and eyes without eyelashes, and they've got round eyeballs and oval eye. Look at how cute that is. Oval eyeballs. What else do they have? Just so darling. And that little bit of something just makes a big difference. He's so cute. And then the stars. So many die cuts on one little bitty sheet. And you use them on all through all the pages here. So I'm just putting my 4x6 in there as a reminder that that's what goes there. I have to tell you, I had a little problem getting all the pages, the little pieces, not the 6x8s, but these 4x6 openings. They're tight. They're really tight. So you can always trim off just a fraction of an inch off the pages to make them easier to go into those 2 per page, actually 4 per page parts. Okay, so this is, I love the 6x8 pages. So we're putting this down the center. And then we get the little Sundance strips that are going to go on either side. And they're 1/4 of an inch, so they're a little bit wider than my Tombow. So that's why I put them on a piece of paper to pick up the excess sticky. And for each of these things, I did use my photo protectors, photo placeholders, so I know exactly what goes, what size, and what goes there. Because I have a feeling, if I tell Philip to give me his pictures, then I can put the album together for him. So I made one 6x8 album for him when we went to visit my sister up on Long Island, and we went into New York City for the fastest mini tour of New York City that you could possibly do, including seeing the World Trade Center, taking a subway, getting pizza in the subway, going up on the Empire State Building, looking at Times Square, taking pictures on time. We did this all in just a few hours' time, and then had to head back to Long Island on a train. And so I made an album for him of that day, and it just really came out real cool. I mean, because we've got, it just really came out cool. And I think it's something that, instead of sitting down with a big 12 by 12, he would be more inclined. Okay, so now see we're masking, and we're taking the word sunshine and we're putting it as two words. So there's a lot of masking going on in this excuse me, album. Excuse me, and there's also a lot of generational stamping. So meaning first generation is the first, I'm popping that up, but you can still put pictures all around it. And I think I'm putting some journaling, yeah, just 2 journaling lines down there. Forgot what I was saying. Couldn't have been that important. Okay, here's the next page. So all of these papers that came with this kit, if I'm not mistaken, they're going to be a new mix-in group. And so they've got, all these colors going together, lots of toffee. Like I said, I don't think I used toffee. I didn't use toffee at all. And I'm wondering if I was supposed to, I have to read the tiny instructions that maybe got by me. I used sapphire for all of the mouths and eyes. You could probably use toffee for that. That might stick out very nicely on the Sundance. Either one. I ended up not using the toffee, but you know what? There's a lot of toffee paper in this set. The polka dots and that plaid, that's toffee. So here we have another. I love this smiley face. I just love him so much. Okay, I'm gonna put a little bit of, they only do a few with the distressed around the edges, so you get a chance to see what it looks like with and without. Now there's that happy face. So you take your sleeping eyes, turn them upside down, and then you have happy eyes. Is that just like adorable? And then I'm popping up the little face. Oh my gosh, I love this little guy. So we have sunshine going on here on that strip of white daisy. And then what are these other words? So much sunshine. They're, I think it was well designed because they're all the pages are so different. And you have, let me think, 18, 19, I think at least 20 pages in here. So you've got that many pages and completely different designs for just about all of them. So I'm just putting down the glue. I could have spaced those on the right-hand side a little bit more. They got kind of close. I love that little shape. Isn't that fun? But it kind of looks better if you line them up right so that they're matching across. And I'm taking the excess glue off with my microfiber cloth. So here we've got sunshine and so much sunshine. So I had to tell you, I had to take a couple of breaks between this because there was a lot of standing for me. And thinking and standing is just pushing my limits. Okay, so we're putting little edges here. That one's butted up next to it. And then we're going to do some little journaling over here. You could, if you wanted to, move that picture further to the left, and then your journaling lines would be longer, just whatever you decide you want to do. So, now when he goes, he kind of told me some of the things that he's going to do, and they're going to go snorkeling, they're going to go in a submarine, they're going to go see this ridge or something that just, I don't even like to hear about it because it scares the bejeebers out of me. You know, it's best if I'm not there so I don't worry. So we've got some more of those little funny shapes. They kind of look like a starburst. It's kind of what I see when I see light in my old eyes. Rays come off. Oh, that looks nice. I really like the way that looks. Whoops, lost one. That's cute. And I like that open star. That's like the plainest sun that we've got there in the whole bit. So we've got a 4x6. That's my happy day. Right there is the 4x6 picture with no embellishment. And I like that really bold stripe. That just stands out so much. And there's a stamp in between. I kind of thought that it was like a background paper, but it was a stamp. So they take Endless Summer and stamp it continuously along the edge there. And then they put another piece of the 1/4 inch Sundance. And then we've got some little plus signs going in there. And then you turn them on the edge to make time signs. So I like that Endless Summer stamp. That's really cute. I don't think I've ever used my microfiber stamp to get rid of the excess glue, but it works really well. I just need to wash it real good so it doesn't harden up from the hard glue, from the glue hardening. Okay, so this coordinates with that page. So this is the right page. And we're going to put pictures down here. Now I did this wrong, so don't put that second picture down with glue that way. That needs to go on, it needs to become a pocket. That picture is going to become a pocket. And there's going to be a piece, those pieces there that I'm ignoring, and that doesn't get glued there, so don't glue that there. So I thought about this in the middle of the night. This is sort of where I ended on one day. And so I thought about, lost a lot of sleep thinking about it. And so I come in early in the morning and pull up. See, I love that one. He's so cute, isn't he? I pull up the pictures and the placeholders, and the yellow piece, and I make a pocket out of the bottom. They're putting a second generation sun face there, and that gets glued onto the yellow piece. So where I was really lucky is that the glue didn't just become one with the paper overnight. I just completely lucked out. And so then I'll come back and show you how I redid. But what you're watching right now, that's not how you're going to do it. Then I turn the page and it's like, uh-oh. Okay, so here's the next morning. So there's me taking off all that stuff. Now I'm putting powder where I had glue initially. My anti-static pouch, I'm just putting powder over the stickum. So now the top picture, the top placeholder goes in there just fine. Now you would be smart to I would have been smarter if I just used a whole new placeholder. So anyway, I'm putting my foam tape on either end, or actually on the top and bottom. Okay, so there's access going like a tunnel. And then that goes back on top. Okay, so now we're going to make a little card. And this is a front side, back side card. So that little yellow piece with the sunshine that I made goes on the end of the card. And then we put a 2x2 with its little picture frame on there. And then on the back, we're making this a journaling card. So that's going to get glued to the back of the picture. And then that whole thing will slide into or slide under the 4x4 picture. So, and this gets little, what does it get? Little plus signs. All the plus signs turn into time signs. So there we go. See, I didn't quite understand how it worked the day before. But then after I slept on it, was like, oh, okay. So there we go. And look, the sun is the little stopper. Do you not love that? So much better after I slept on it. Sometimes you really do need to sleep on it. My friend at work was right. If he had a problem that he needed to solve, he said, I need to go home and sleep on it. Curtis, you were right, for sure. Okay, now this is all... Okay, I'm back. I had to go to a dentist appointment to find out that I need a root canal. And I kind of want to cry right now, but... Okay, on to the rest of what we're doing here. So we're doing, these are all second generation. So what you want to do is have your scrap pad, whoops, screw that one up. Screw the other one up too. Yeah. Oh, with the, I know, the Sundance, these are going to be Suns, so they get the first generation. But the others, you want to stamp off and then put your second generation on there. And so we've got all of these cute little 1-inch circles. And so, yeah, we're making those out of Suns. So I didn't mess up there. Amazing. I just messed up the one glacier, but that's okay. Glacier's a light enough color anyway. Okay, so I'm putting those away. I kind of missed putting one on there. So we've got a little face here that we're putting on. Look at that. Is that cute? So they have little round eyes, and then they have these little oval eyes. And I don't know, there's something about those little oval eyes that's just kind of adorable to me. I don't know. Sometimes this thing just shuts off by itself. Okay, so I'm going to add one more up there just to kind of, it needed a little something else up there. So I'm putting these little stars hither and yon, just like they've got on the instructions to the left there. I'm putting my little stars down with, pardon me, a little spot of glue. And what a cute little page. So we've got the first page there, that's actually the right-hand page for, oops, one of my little stars came off. And here's the next one. So these are just, I love these little layouts. You know, I'm really getting to the point where I really like these 6x8 little albums. So you can have very specific, a very specific event that you want to make an album of. And it's a big enough event, like a vacation, like going on a cruise, where you may not have a million photos because the cruise is only 5 days, but you'll have enough that you can kind of do its own, you kind of want its own thing. I think that picture is supposed to be over onto the lighter, I think that's shortbread, if I'm not mistaken, cardstock. But anyway, so we've just got some little very short journaling. If the picture was over to the left more, then you could have longer journaling lines. So I'm just putting a couple of stars down, and I used an eyeball for like a little bullet point. Had an extra eyeball in there, but I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, so now we're going on to the second part. And we've got these strips that are 3 inches long. And the middle one is going to be where you can put a little bit of journaling. So that's going to go right in there. And then we're going to do some more. So we're doing first generation, second generation. So I'm really liking their use of the generational stamps. And I like these cutout star pieces. So you pull the little stars out and you've got this fun thing for the color to show through. So very neat, right? The tape that I'm using for masking is specifically masking. It's for masking. It's not masking tape per se because it's not very sticky. It's just sticky enough to hold there for, enough for you to do your stamp, and that's it. And it doesn't pull up any cardstock with it. So it's a really good tape for doing these masking things. And look at how cute those pages are. Okay, so I'm putting a 3x4 down times 2. So they're saying to put 2 3x4s, but if you want to do a 4x6, you do a 4x6. It's whatever you want. So, okay, now we're up to, I think, number 6. And they are 2 6x8 pages. Okay. So we've got our strips ready to go. Oops, needed some more Tombow. Okay, so we're putting those in, and that's going to the top. Kind of hard to, those are 3x4s. Okay, so there's a strip that needs to go down beneath those pictures. So those pictures, don't do that yet. Those pictures are going to have to get moved down. So these are getting, those strips are getting butted up to each other. They are abutted. And then this gets moved down just a little bit so you can see the strips through the top and the bottom. So if you're watching this and you haven't done it yet, it's good that you're watching it so you can see where I'm making a mistake. You probably wouldn't make the mistakes I do, but you can see that you can, that you can learn from my mistakes is what I'm trying to say. So I give you plenty of opportunities to learn from my mistakes. Okay, so here we've got this cute little sun that's got the shorter wedge-shaped rays in it, and it's just a little sleepy-eyed sun. And I'm putting some double stick foam because I dropped my little squares and I couldn't find them. They're on the floor, which I didn't know until I stepped away for a minute. Okay, so I'm putting some little squirts down, and then I put the little stars down and a bigger star. They got, it's the 6x8 pages, they go fast. So that's kind of cool, right? So instead of ending up with a couple of layouts, you get a whole darn album. It's just, really, I think it's just so neat. Anyway, okay, so here's the front and back of this paper. So look at how nicely that looks together. And then we've got, that's a zip strip, and I'm making a tag here. I didn't cut them evenly. And that's another piece of zip strip, and it's going on the bottom. I don't think, I may have a thin cut for a, I will be quite honest, I didn't do a great job on this. I'm not exactly sure. Let's see where I went wrong. Okay, some more masking. Okay, so I should have started. I made the line straight, but then up at the top, I needed to do something different. I might have to adjust that because the line goes crooked up at the top. So I might put a piece of tape or a zip strip. I might have a zip strip that I will cut it in half and put it along the bottom edge of that. See, it's a little wonky. So that could be covered up if I put another strip of a zip strip up there, and I think that would look good if you just take the 1/2 inch zip strip and cut it to 1/4 of an inch. So now this is getting not really random, but it's getting some circles stamped here and there, but not on the whole thing because it's going to be covered up by a 4x6 photo. So I've got the circles done, and then I think you're actually supposed to use the shorter rays, but I used the long ones. That's totally okay. I kind of like the way they look anyway. And then we've got a 4x6 that's going to go in there, just like that. And then we've got our little tag, and I'm going to pop it up. I put it on both sides, but I'm only pulling the strip off of the left-hand side so I can fit a picture, I can slide a picture under there easily. Okay, and then some stars are going here and there on top of the blue and green circles. I really like those open star circles. So we're just putting these on each of the little blue suns, green sun. There we go. Those little suns just make everything look so cheerful, don't they? I mean, it's just like you want to smile, because even if the sun is green or blue, it still makes you kind of, excuse me, want to smile. So here we've got another. Now this is one of the zip strips that was cut in half, so it's 1/4 of an inch. And then the 2x2s get put up right against the zip strip, just like that. And there's my foam. So we're doing a blue sunshine title, and this one is The Sunshine. God, don't you just love that font? Phone keeps on making noises. Sorry about that. That's what I had for breakfast this morning, is a sunny side up egg. Okay, so we're going to pop this sun up. And it goes right next to the sunshine. Perfect, right? So I'm really happy with this little album. I can't wait to show Philip. He'll look at me and go, yeah, that's nice. He'll appreciate it years from now. But that's fine. I don't fool myself here. Anyway, here we go. You know, if this is the first time you're looking at one of my YouTube videos, welcome. You know, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I will admit that I'm kind of sporadic when I do videos. I was getting kind of consistent, and then I went sporadic. A lot of stuff going on. But okay, so this is really cool. This is 1st generation, 2nd generation, 3rd generation. So first you stamp the 1, and then 2 and 3. And it just gives a really cool effect. So anyway, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. And, you know, I'll be doing, I have another, want to say I've got another album to do, another 6x8 album, and a bunch of pages from our promotion going on this month called Dream Maker, and the papers are glorious. They're absolutely glorious paper. And see that, now that 4x6 is just getting a zip strip along the bottom of it. How easy. Just going to take a little bit off there. That made that easier to go in. So anyway, if you go to dorothy.closetomyheart.com, you can go to the menu along the top that says promotions, and there's the thing that says Dream Maker. And look at those papers, because they're marbleized papers. And they're just absolutely beautiful colors. So I'll be doing all sorts of things with those papers. Anyway, we've got this going and some more journaling lines. These are just, they look like, well, no, they're 3/8 of an inch, because they're no, they kind of look like 1/4 inch. Those are 1/4 inch. Each line is 1/8 of an inch. So 2 lines is 1/4 of an inch. 3 lines is 3/8 of an inch. So it depends on how big you write or how much you want to write. So if you want to write a whole lot, then you want to have the smaller line so you can fit more on there. Okay, so there's that one that's done. Get on there. You really need to I'm kind of in a rush doing this. You need to let your stuff dry in place before you start shoving it into the page protector. Okay, we're getting down to, I think we're on number 9. Layout 9, and then we've got the closing, maybe? Okay, so here we've got our sapphire and white paper. So we're putting both sides, we're showing both sides against this real pretty gray paper. So we've got two by 2s. And at first I thought they did ripped paper, but it's actually that paper. So now we're making interlocking circles. And then right in the center is going to go a larger sunshine with the happy mouth. And the short, thin rays. And then we've got a sapphire circle going around. So that brings the other element of the sapphire circles in. And then we've got our happy eyes, bright eyes. And we're going to pop that up and put that right in between all of those links. So if you did anything with Olympics, you can use those interlocking circles to make the Olympic symbol. Just a thought. It's these things that you see afterwards that I don't see while I'm doing it. It's kind of interesting. All of a sudden it's like, oh, look at that. You could totally do that. Okay, and now we've got our asterisk type stars going in these. So we hadn't used that shape before. Okay, that's another zip strip. Real pretty. And we've got vertical 3x4s. And we do a little dovetail here and a dovetail there on the bigger piece, and that's going to go to the bottom. And the bigger piece is going to go on top of the polka dots a little bit. And then these little guys are going to go just like that. And then our 2x2s are going to go on top of them. So we're going to, oh, I'm off camera. Gosh, I hate when I do that. It's okay. I'm just making journaling lines. So we're just going to move up that little piece of white daisy with the dovetail on it. And then we're going to put these fun open stars. There's a real fine filigree. I don't know if you can appreciate that, but there's a real fine filigree in the middle of those stars. It's very cool. And the lines are so thin, it's kind of hard to put the glue on them. So I'm using Tombow. The only problem with Tombow is you can kind of see the webbing from the glue. But it's not a big deal. Okay, and then we're going to add this little piece that says the sun will rise again. See, we left a little space, about 1/4 of an inch at the bottom of the lagoon. And then we've got that side and that side. Okay, so this is right, and it's the 9th layout. So this is the last of them. So we're going to do these two, and we're going to then do the closing sheet. So we've got the opening page and the closing page. I may have cut that one wrong. I'm not sure. There should be more showing on top and bottom. So I'm not sure what I did. Okay, so we're taking our smile and we are randomly twisting and turning it to kind of make our own little background paper. But they're all little smiles. How cute, right? Super fun. Okay, so we've got our circles. And I did something wrong. What did I do? I think I used the wrong. There we go. We use our smiley face, smiley mouth. And I think this gets the thick and the short and long, thicker rays, if I'm not mistaken. Well, those are the thin ones. Making a circle. Making happy eyes. That's the sleepy eyes turned upside down. And I'm just going to do a little bit of distressing around the edges with the Sundance. And that's going to go on there. And then I'm taking one of the phrases, and because it's so thin, you can do this with acrylic. You can add a curve to them. They didn't come that way. They came straight, and I just curved it a little bit to go around the sun. So cool, right? That's one of the fun things about, and it's getting popped up, about these acrylic stamps. So that's going to get tucked in. So that's the second part of 9, and now we've got our closing. Okay, so that's a 4x4. Maybe this is where we do the short and the long, thicker pieces, let's see. Okay, so I'm putting just some half-inch strips down at the bottom of the last picture. So that's, you don't have to, if you have a 4x6 and you don't want to hide any of it, you don't have to put that zip strip there. You can just eliminate that completely and just show your whole picture. You know, any of these is up to your discretion. So you do what you want to, you do you, as they say. So here we go with our thick. See, this is when I realize I think I need a bigger circle. I think maybe I used a 2-inch circle when I wasn't supposed to. And yeah, I had to go make another circle. So there's the one. And they look like they're equal, but you have to fit that according to the way it works. They don't exactly mesh no matter what direction you put them in. So you just have to work on that, finding where it fits in. And then we're going to take our little happy face. I guess I didn't like the way that looked. Got our little eyes. Put the little pop-up there. There we go. And that's going to go, this is another phrase that is going to get bent so it can go around the sun. So great idea, right? So I'm just gonna, I think this one's the sun will rise again. And then I'm gonna do a little, see how many times did I use that masking tape a whole bunch of times, several times now. So, you know, it has enough stickum that it'll hold in place, but you can use it over and over again. So don't feel like, you know, well, I'd go through too much of that. Well, you can reuse it on a project. And, you know, think about how much masking did we do on this project. We did a lot of masking, a lot of generational stamping. So there was a lot of techniques going on here. So you get to learn, you know, with the close to my heart projects, you're usually learning techniques that you can use for your projects from here on out. So there's our last page and our closing page. And here we go. Here's the whole kit and caboodle. Put some of my things away so I'm not working in complete chaos here. Make sure I've got all of my eyeballs, because I sure don't want to lose any of those eyes. They're too cute. Put my tools away, put my glue away, put my foam tape away. Here's the inks that I used: Sapphire, Sage, Glacier, Sundance, and Toffee, but I never did quite use the Toffee, but you certainly could. So here we go. There's all the pages. I'm just trying to get some of the glare off. There's our pocket and our generational stamping. So cute little album, right? So the only thing I have left to do here is to cut slits, to put pictures in, and pull journaling sheets out. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dorothy Smith. Thanks for watching my video, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel and learn along with me. Thanks. Bye-bye.